Boom, we got our sound up. Hopefully, we get no feedback this time. So far, I don't hear any. All right. Can you all hear me clearly now? Because I'm getting no feedback now. So I think we're good. And I got to tell you what, I didn't do anything differently. So that was a Facebook glitch, is about all I can chalk that one up to. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. I told Rainey come on and say hi, and she didn't want to this morning. She's got to go back to work after a long day yesterday doing massages. And but she ended up in here anyway to try to help me solve that problem. So those of you who were in the other stream got to see Rainey and say good morning. She's out of here now. And and I will say this. It's the beautiful part about what Rainey's doing with her massage, even though it's been very busy for her and a little tiring on some days, is that she's not bound to an employer, which is nice. She's self-employed for the most part, and she works a few hours a week for a particular salon at a hotel, and without revealing too much. I guess this is revealing. Here's what's interesting. Rainey's been doing massage now for 20 years. She started, a few years before she met me. And so she's pretty good at what she does. And she went to work for a salon, and she was making, decent money, maybe $50, $60 per massage went in her pocket, and the rest to the salon. Well, then they got a little more formalized, and now they've got it worked down to a point where she makes about $25 per massage. And that's for doing an hour's worth of work, hour's worth of massage. And so let's say you do 5 massages in one day for that salon. What are you making? $125. Now, she's also started having some of the other hotels in the region, in the area, half hour apart from each other, some of them, are asking her to come in and do massages because she used to do some of that long before the COVID thing kicked in. And so she started going over as an independent contractor, and which she is at the other salon anyway. And she's making $75 per massage. And now she provides her own table and her own blankets and sheets and towels and things like that. But now you do the math on that. Where would you rather work? Where you're making $25 per item or $75 per item? So that's the beauty of it. She's getting what she's worth at the other location. And she's got somebody else who wants to partner up with her, another woman that's a massage therapist, because they do a lot of couples massages where they set up 2 tables, and they do the husband and wife or couples, whatever they might be. And so Field Guy 350 will get your sheets freshly washed. So, and then what's nice, she gets a nice tip. So, she did 14. What am I talking about? 14 hours she was gone yesterday, 13 or 14 hours. Okay, come on over here. Quick. Talking about you. So she's
my mask and my wallet.
She's now got her scrubs on and she's ready to roll.
Gotta go. I'm running late now.
Bye. You have fun.
Totally.
You'll be back when?
I don't know.
Don't know? So you got how many? 2 so far?
2 so far, but I told them they could schedule me on 11:30 and 1:30.
All right. So she's got 2 so far. She might have 4. So 4 to 5 is a full day for her. So she did 5 massages yesterday. And the neat thing about it was she did 2 massages at the salon for $25 each. That's all they pay her. She did 3 massages at the other hotel for $75 a piece. So that gives you an idea. plus tips she gets. So I'm encouraging her. If you're going to do 4 and 5 massages a day, do them on your own, unaffiliated with the salon, because he just wants to pay her $25 an hour. And she says, no, I'm worth a whole lot more than that, because she's been doing what she does for 20 years. You got somebody else has been working it for a year or two, and they're making the same amount of money at the salon. So I said, go independent. And she wants to go independent with this other massage therapist, so they can do more of the couples things and things like that. And so I'm going to work on designing them some new logos and stuff like that, and help them get some marketing done. And they're going to go out there and make their name known. Boom. So there it is. There's the mundane, the family update for today so far. Let's see. Let me get this kind of. I got to do something different with my background, but that's coming. So good morning, everybody. I saw Susie Q in here very early, and Matt Finn. How you doing, brother? And Teresa, good to see you. Lucky Stone. And Field Guy. Field Guy was the first one in here today. I don't know how early you were here, brother, but I answered your early call. And that was about 8:45. So sorry for the problems with the stream this morning. So you can see this is a lot more, those of you maybe watching this for the first time, this is a lot more informal than the radio show, which we do Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Left Coast. And I was actually going to say West Coast, and Left Coast came up. Audrey, how you doing? That made me think of you. And Corin, good to see you this morning. Nice to have you. And who am I missing? Anybody else so far? Paul from Newcastle, good to see you. It's got to be mid-afternoon over there. Probably about 3 in the afternoon is my guess. Over in Newcastle, England, Great Britain. And let's see, what else we got going on? Who else is here? Thank you, sir. Salud. And let's see. So I hope you're enjoying the shows during the week on Intrepid Radio, which this technically is not Intrepid Radio. That's why you don't see all the logos and scroll bars and insignia and all that. This does not broadcast on Odyssey Radio. This is just us here on my chat room, here on my YouTube channel. And that's the only place this goes. So I appreciate you all coming in here. And your bio and step family are having a grr moment with you, Corin. What's going on, brother? What's going on? And 3:17 in Newcastle. See, the 6-hour thing was working. We're 6 hours apart from you, Paul. And thanks, Matt Finn. That's over on my Etsy shop. I haven't added anything new. I haven't done I wanted to do a couple of designs for Native American and focused, because that's been our daily show throughout the week for the last 5 weeks now. And I hope none of you are growing tired of that, because there's a little bit left. We could, once we do on Monday, the wrap up of the fallout of the Black Hills and the Little Bighorn and the subsequent battles that came after that. What's very interesting about that is the Battle of the Little Bighorn, the defeat of Custer and the 7th Cavalry. That was the single most, what did they call that? Harshest defeat, the worst defeat of the United States Army against the American Indian, the Native Americans at the time. And it really bolstered the Native Americans. But what it also did was it doubled down the United States on exterminating the Native Americans and moving them off. And they just doubled and tripled down on them. And so it did usher in, while it was kind of the Indians' last great hurrah. At the same time, I don't think there were any more victories, if you will, for the Indians. And it really crawled down from 1876 to 1890, that next 14 years, 1890 being the massacre at Wounded Knee. So 14 more years, and you see the nails put in, the final nails in the coffin of the Indian experience as a free people in the United States, on this continent, I should say. Hi, Ro. Good morning. Step up on a rung. Say hi to everybody. You just wake up? Here's my 8-year-old, Rowan Claire. Mom was in here. Now she's gone to work. So, how you doing today? It's like no English. You need coffee.
No.
No coffee? You can go watch what you want out there if you want to watch some TV. I left the news plan. I love you. Yeah, you can watch something else. See you later. And Rowan Claire, my 8-year-old. She won't be 9 until she was born a day before. Hey, Rowan, it's your birthday on the 22nd of November? 20th. So she was born 3 days before my 51st birthday. I think it would be. Yeah, because she'll be 9 this November. So I remember it was crawling along that last couple of weeks. We didn't know what was going to happen with her. And we thought, yeah, she'll be born on my birthday. And then, of course, you can see kind of the cycle of our lives. Ellery, 3 years later, was born. We thought she was going to come on the 23rd of November as well. And she ended up waiting until December 2nd. And she was our big baby, our big Amazonian. Women, I think you can relate to this. I don't remember the exact numbers. She was either 10.9 pounds or very close to 11 pounds. And she was 21 inches when she was born. And she came out, and I thought, pardon me for saying it this way, she was a porker when she came out. And I thought, oh my, we have bequeathed a very large child. And bequeathed is not the word. Given birth to, my wife did. And so, but now she's thinned out just like her sister and her brother. And over the last 5 years. And she's just as thin and rib cage showing and running around no matter how much you feed them. And because they're always active, always run, always moving. So she'll probably be down here at some point. There you go. Your Marine was 8 pounds, 13 ounces. And so, but Ellery is our little Amazon. And she has always been, the last 3 years, always been wearing the size that Rowan is wearing, who's 3 years older. And so she's wearing like 7 8. And it's mostly for her height. And she's almost as tall as Rowan, who's 8. So there you go. So much for that. So if you are enjoying, where I was enjoying the series on the Native America, there's still quite a bit to go on that. We're about 2/3 through that series, the way I have it mapped out. Now we can take a break after finishing up on the Black Hills on Monday. I'm pretty sure we'll be done with that section. And we can maybe take a break and go into some other areas for a little bit and come back to this. But I wanted to keep that momentum going so you really get the full picture of the whole, what was it, in really 20 to 30 years. We went from, we had pushed the Native Americans off of the East Coast, but I'm talking about the rest of the continent, how we wrapped that all up in 20 to 30 years. And I had, my neighbor was over yesterday, and we see things pretty close eye to eye. They're a lot younger. They're younger than Rainey even. I think they're still both in their late 20s. And but we think pretty much alike politically. And he brought up the point which is one that I used to really focus on with Native America. And that is that, hey, they were a conquered people, and that was nothing new. Remember, we talk about slavery in today's context. We look at the BLM and the protests and the rioting and all of this and the race wars and all of that. And we say, look, none of us were there when that took place. I didn't enslave anybody. Nobody was enslaved by me. Nobody alive today was even enslaved, unless they came from another country. You get the point I'm making. And yet we want to treat it like it's something that just happened. And remember, and I've said it a million times, slavery in the 18th and the 19th centuries was commonplace around the world. And the beauty of what we did, our futurist founders did, was they created a constitution knowing that this was an issue that was going to have to be dealt with if we were to be consistent with our own principles of founding. And we did. Within 87 years, thereabouts, we did away with slavery from the founding of this nation. No, it did not start in 1619 with the United States. It started 400 years ago when we were colonies of the British Empire. And when we became our own country, we eventually did away with it. And so we've evolved. And now with the Native American issue and the pushing them off their land, I'm sorry to say it this way, folks, that was the paradigm of the day. You were a conquering nation with empirical visions of empiracy, I guess you could say. We said we're going to be sea to shining sea. We're going to have this whole continent. That's the way things were done. Think back when this was going on, just a few years after Napoleon Bonaparte and the things he did. Look at Hitler about, what would that be? 60 years after, only 60 years after Custer's last stand, Hitler was annexing Poland. Hitler was trying to take over all of Europe and the whole continent over there. This is what conquering nations did. And while it does not justify the atrocity, it certainly is consistent with the paradigm of the day. The Native Americans were a conquered people by a nation that came in that was stronger and conquered them. Since time past, time immemorable, this is what nations did. It's what countries did, what kings did, what empires did. And so while you can't excuse the atrocities, you can understand from an historical standpoint why the United States did what it did in that century. And so it was 150 years ago with Custer and the Black Hills. And that's a lot of what we're looking at is that 180 to 120 years ago, what was going on. And so while you can't justify atrocity, you can understand history and saying this is what we were. We were like every other nation, and we were a growing nation. Custer's last stand took place in the centennial month of this nation. Well, a couple of weeks before the centennial itself. And so you get the idea. We were 100 years old back then. We're 250 years old now. And so we've had a little time to evolve and do things. 144 years, there you go. Field Guy did the math for us. And Corin says he was at that point quite a few months ago. I might be jumping in on something I didn't see. What do we call today's paradigm? I don't know what you call today's paradigm. I would say, what would you say that we're in right now? The paradigm that's ruling today is one that I can't describe in a single word unless I think it through. What are we doing nowadays? We are discrediting everything that came before us. We are wanting to, I'd say especially the younger generations wanting to dispose of everything that built our culture into what it is. As much as we look at the war with the Indian in the 19th century, that was part of who we are. That made us who we are today. That's part of the evolution we had to come through. So what is it now? Now the paradigm lets me do a series like this. It's one that says, look, we have to recognize who we are and what we came from, and at the same time realize and understand the blots on history that we also brought to the table. And so what would you call that paradigm? Erasure, Audrey says. Maybe. I think that's the younger generation, erasure. The whole counter culture, the wanting to do away with everything that we know we have always been in exchange for building something new. It's Gattaca. It's that brave new world, so to speak. We need to do away with everything that we disagree with now. We cannot accept that we were once a people who acted this way, who now do things this way. And here's the big question for you. Would we be doing now the things we did in the 18th century and the 19th century? Would we still be doing those in the 21st century if we did not have conflict that led us to understand the things that we did and say we need to be better, a better people than that, a better nation than that? You know, we have all this the glorious side of America, of the United States. This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the bold, for this is my country to have and to hold. But didn't the Native Americans say the same thing a century before that? 10 years before they were driven off their lands. This is my country, land of my birth. So we know what we are. There's no way to... The only way you can justify what the United States did in the American West in the 1800s is to understand history and understand that this is what nations and empire builders had been doing for thousands of years. And so, are we a better people because we have evolved out of the empire building? Or are we still doing empire building? Only now it's behind the scenes. Now we cause wars and we go in and sweep up. So there's some good questions for you. Human nature is human nature. But I think that there's a grand, bold, amazing, wonderful, glorious idea behind the United States. And if we can maintain that and keep growing, that's what we have to do. So let me go over to some of what your field guy laughs at the Democrats wanting to sue our president because he said, screw this, I'm writing executive orders. Yeah, exactly. I was watching Chris Wallace's, I always liked Chris Wallace on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. Central, Fox News Sunday. I always liked him because I thought he was being fair. I have some issues with him, but he had some people on that were talking about this morning, the executive orders. Those against it want to sue the president for this is a breach of his power. And those that are for it are saying, look, when you're the president and you can't get anything done because one side keeps wanting to have their whole agenda tucked into a bill that's supposed to be only to help hurting Americans. Let's not put in a tack onto the bill then pay raises for Congress. What does that do for, well, you can justify that. I suppose if you propose that, you can be the one saying, well, if we have better pay, we'll be willing to stay longer and do, you know what? They stay anyway. So the president finally said, screw all this. I'm going to sign an executive order to at least extend the unemployment benefit and extend the additional 600. It might be 400 now, but the additional 600 to 400 to 600 per week for people on unemployment because of the pandemic. And now the opponents in Congress are saying, well, all you see is the rhetoric. Well, he's shutting down Social Security, which is what he always wanted to do. No, what it does, it's saying he's diminishing the payroll tax to help people who are not working, and to help those who are working. He's diminished the payroll tax. What does that mean? It means not as much goes out of every paycheck to Social Security. So, he's shutting down Social Security is the rhetoric we hear. So it's nutty. It's just nutty. So, yeah. No evictions. That's a good thing. That helps people out. Hell, we had problems in May making ends meet. Didn't have enough money coming in and ran out of stimulus money that was given to us. And when was that? April? Was that March or April? We got stimulus money. But May to June, we started running a little tight on funds. Now I've had clients coming in and it's been rebuilding a little bit. So we're leveling back off. But at the same time, we were hurting at one point in the middle of this and didn't know where, just to give you an idea, I just paid off. We had thank God our utilities here in New Richmond, small town New Richmond, man, if you were late by a week, they were sending you shut-off notices all through the whole time we've ever lived in Lynchburg, I was going to say. That was 30 years ago. The whole time we've ever lived in New Richmond. And now they let it ride for 3 months. And our typical bill around here, because we use air conditioning in the hot months, has been over $300 a month. And so we had a $904 utility bill as of a week ago. Well, thank goodness, I've got some clients coming in. I've got some money coming in, rolling back in the door a little bit. And so I paid a $904 utility bill, as we all do, out of my pocket last week. And we still had a little bit left to pay other bills. Paid a $290 cable bill. Not cable, we don't have cable. Internet bill. And I'm like, how do we get up to $290? I thought our our internet was only supposed to be $50 a month. That would be 6 months worth. Well, you look back and of course there's all those service charges. You've done that before. If you've ever pulled apart your internet bill, remember when they were selling you internet and selling you, if you get cable, you got cable for $49 a month. You get this and you get your first bill, second bill, third bill, they're all over $100. You thought, what's my bill so high for? I called them up once and I go, can you decipher this bill for me? Well, there's the $49 for your internet. And then, of course, there is the surcharge for this. And then there's the charge for your modem box that we lease to you every month. Then there's the tax on both of those. Then there's federal tax and city tax and county tax and state tax and this surcharge for that. And pretty soon your $49 a month is $99 a month. I said, that's $50 more than you advertised. So what they do, they get away with telling you, hey, we'll give you $49 a month internet. The person I was talking to said, your internet still only costs $49 a month. It's all the extra stuff. That starts to piss you off after a while. And the other one that gets me, you sign up for places like Amazon Prime, which I've had for years. I've had Amazon Prime because I did a lot of buying of books when I was writing some books back when I was doing research. And I got Prime because I got some pretty good prices off of that, free shipping, all of that stuff. And so we started Prime Video. couple of years ago. And we shut off cable. It's getting too expensive, too much nonsense. And we're doing like a lot of people do. You get Amazon. We've got Amazon Prime. We've got Netflix. We've got Hulu. And we watch those. We alternate between those. We get pretty much everything we need to watch is right there. But let's say you go on Amazon Prime and you go, oh, I like that series. I want to watch that. Click. Well, you got to join some other channel like Stars or something else, which costs you, $4 a month. You go, that ain't so bad. And then you see this show you want to watch. Well, click on it and it goes, this will cost you $3.99 per episode or $6 to the Science Channel. You go, okay, I can do the $6. But it always griped me that I'm paying $10 a month to be on Amazon Prime, but then I got to pay an additional $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 a month if I want to watch anything. So it's pretty, and you know how it goes. It's that way on every one of those channels. So 59 Field Guy says that comes from your cable company. Yeah, I would do it through a cable company. I'd sign up for cable again if I could get something like, what's the big one? Why is it slipping my mind? Comcast. Comcast, you go 10 miles from here, Comcast everywhere. You come here into our small town, our county, well, there's a monopoly with Frontier. Frontier absolutely sucks. And so that's what we've got for internet, though. I didn't want to order their cable. Would have been $100 a month. So anyway, $65 for net. Yeah. I remember when they used to advertise $19.99 for cable TV. That was way back. So probably worth about the same as $60 to $70 a month now. So Morgan Snow, by the way, good to see you.
My hair is uneven.
I'm on radio. Would you cut it or something?
No, I never cut my hair.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm doing a radio show.
And I'm getting ready to go over to Annabelle and Ruby.
Mom wanted you to stay home today. Remember?
Now I'm going to Addie's.
Remember, home is not either of those places.
No, we're to stay in the yard.
We'll talk about it when I'm off radio. Yeah, you can do that funky little temper dance all you want. It's not going to change anything.
Going over to Addie's.
No, you're not. I'm sorry to say.
Yes, I am.
If you want to play in the yard, you can.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
We're going to play on the picnic table.
Okay. That's fine. But you're sticking around home. You don't leave the yard today. Let's see. I pay $250 a month for basic cable and internet. Wow. $250 a month. Well, that's California for you. So anyway, yeah, whining. All right. Anybody have anything you want to talk about today? Otherwise, I'm going to do some readings. We haven't done readings for a couple of weeks. So, one, because I was out of town and then I felt like crap with my ribs last week. So, I think we're gonna give it a try today. So, I like this shirt, by the way. I got this yesterday. Look at this. I got this for like $8 yesterday. It's one of those nice lightweight. And so this morning when I stepped outside to have coffee, hi, Ellie, come here. Do you have clothes on? No, of course not. I was going to have you say hi, but you're naked. Step up on the rung of the stool. There you go. There's Ellie, freshly awake, glitter in her hair, on her scalp. It's all sparkly. Did she? All right. Well, there you go. She's my little Rainy. She looks like Rainy.
Daddy,
What?
did Mom leave?
Mom's gone.
Where?
She's got 2 massages, maybe 4. She has to see how the day goes. All right. So, there's Ellery. Yeah. I don't even say that word around her anymore, Susie Q. So that's all she do. She just walk around chanting that. So, all right. Why don't we do a couple of readings? Let's just do one card readings. And if I feel the need, I'll throw down a couple of more cards. Who wants to be first today to get a reading? So let's see if anybody else said anything like that. Think that they wanted to be first. Me, please, says Morgan Snow. Let's do it. All right, Morgan. This is for you. Oh, I got stuff falling off my desk. My kids come into my desk. It's for Morgan. And they leave their junk all over my desk. They sit and watch YouTubes for kids on here and mess my desk up. All right, Morgan. Let me concentrate on you a little bit. And for Morgan Snow, going in cold. I've done no prep myself, like clearing my energy or trying to open my third eye or anything like that. So this is purely coming from where it comes from, not from me. So we'll see what happens. Well, I can restack that. There we go. I just shuffled that deck and cut it on your behalf, Morgan. And the first card we get, we've got the Knight of Coins for you. There he is. You can see the Knight of Coins. Now, the Knight of Coins, all the knights were in the deck. The knight was somebody who did errands for the king. They delivered messages and all of that. And the Knight of Coins, and some of the decks, they just show the knight, like this one. There are some decks I've had which shows them all on horseback. And the horseback is the demonstration of showing that they are in movement. They're in transition. They're always going somewhere, always doing something. Sometimes it was just the thing of doing things for the king and doing messages for the king and all of that. And the Knight of Coins, however, with all the horses, you may have heard me say this before, Morgan, he's the only one who is on a horse who is standing still. The horse is not moving. And there's a reason for that. He, first of all, the Knight of Coins symbolizes the virtues of patience, honor, dependability, thinking ahead, prudence, plodding, Plodding, moving slowly for a purpose. And he's it's dependability, good news that he's bringing. But why is he not moving? Why is he standing still? The Knight of Coins is standing still because while the other knights are in movement, in transition, showing you there's movement coming here, there's movement coming there, you're transitioning into this. This is one that says that transition is standing still until you have done the work and you know exactly what it is you're getting yourself into. So the knight who's standing still on the horse is like the knight who would be standing on the crest of the hill, looking down into the fray or the battle or whatever, or the road ahead, simply the road ahead, and determining, calculating, what's the next move, what's the best maneuver, what do I do next? And then when he's settled on that, he walks his horse down and then goes into his full bold trot into the fray. And so what the Knight of Coins does, he's somebody who plans his work before he works his plan. And the idea is that your past in all of this, it set the stage for something that's very promising for you ahead because you've taken your time, you've been meticulous, you've kind of planned your work to get to where you want to be. So your dependability, your responsible attitude is one that makes it a priority for you to do your work to the best of your ability. How's that? This card tells me about you and should tell you about you and everybody listening that you have a responsible attitude. You're somebody who overall makes good decisions because You're responsible about them. You're dependable about the way you go about what you need to do. Now, even dependable people aren't dependable all the time. Sometimes they make their mistakes. They make their missteps. But it's generally not because they haven't thought it through. So you have to follow your routines to produce the best possible results for you, whatever your current situation is. It's patience, it's sustained concentration. And because of those things, you can obtain really lofty ambitions and get there. And so overall, this card, the Knight of Coins, dependable, honorable, trustworthy, undeniable common sense, incredible determination from the gut, from the core. And there's various skills that this knight possesses that include exercising your patience, being supportive of other people around you. And it really is a card that suggests very positive things to come around you and for those to whom you remain faithful. And so it's kind of a yes card, a positive card, that good things are happening and you are the epitome of this person. Now, I don't know what your circumstances are, but I'm going to tell you this, that that other stream was still playing, by the way. I just clicked on the wrong stream to see the chat room, and that old one popped up. That's what the feedback you heard. So there you go. And that's what I see, Morgan, for you right now. I don't know if you see yourself in that same light, but that's who you are. And that's what you bring to the table. That's what's being brought to the table for you. So hope that was helpful. Hope that means something for you. And let's see what's going on. I see Barry is here. Good to see you, Barry. Durwood, good to see you as well. Steve Clark, nice to have you. And who else we got that's wandered in this morning? And so let's see. Let's move on.
I'm going to make cupcakes.
I'm on the radio still.
Can I make cupcakes?
If you clean up your own mess.
Yay.
All right. Okay, folks. Here we are. We're back at it. I've got the door open on Sunday mornings. That's why they just wander in. And Mom's not here, so she's off doing massages this morning. So let's see. You're taking care of your dying husband, says Morgan. So I'm sorry to hear about that. It's a very sad statement to have to make. And tells you you're doing the right thing. I think you are. I think you, I don't know what you're doing exactly in the process of all of that, but this just says that you're somebody who makes your decisions because you think about it. You put time and effort into doing the right things and doing what needs to be done. So I'm sorry to hear about the other part of that. And that's never a happy thing to have to do. But there's a lot of people here, I think, who you could talk with in your private. And you can share whatever you want here, but you can talk to, it's kind of like take your pick. There's some good people here that I think will share in your feelings. So there you go. Birthday boy Barry is next. Happy birthday, Barry. Happy 22nd. One of these days you'll grow up and you'll be a mature man, even though you're only 22 today. So, Barry, here we go. Let's shuffle for you. This will be your birthday card. And Barry Chad. And one more time, shuffle this deck. Now, Barry, if you were here, I'd have you cut the deck. So I'm going to do that for you. And restack it the way it should be restacked. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what we get for you today on your birthday. All right, Barry. You got the King of Coins. Oh, and something I neglected to mention in Morgan's read, the coins. I just didn't talk about the identity of the coins. That's the material aspects of your life. So Morgan, even in your situation, it has to do with money, material things, and all of that. Yes, Rowan.
I can't find a cupcake pan.
Gosh.
I saw one the other day.
What do you think I can do about it from right here? You know what I can do about it? Go look for one.
You can give me $5.
See ya. I don't know where the monetary value comes in there. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I got tapped. All right. King of Coins. Coins has to do with your financial well-being, your material well-being. It doesn't always have to be directly money that it's talking about here. It can be all the things that affect your money, all the things that affect your financial, your material well-being. It's the pentacles in the older deck is now you can call it the coins. And that's what these things had to do with. Now the kings always represent specific people that we know. It's either us or it's somebody we know in our sphere of influence. And so the King of Pentacles really embodies the mature, the dependable aspects of maturity. And so anyone represented by this card, the King of Coins, is tied to success, to status, to maturity, to getting things done the right way. And that's what it's all about. And while it might refer to your own characteristics, Barry, the card sometimes stands for other people in your life who, I don't know, who can come to your aid, who can help you out. And you can expect that this person to be somebody who values prudence, intelligence, common sense. I tend to think because we're doing single card readings that this has to do with you.
Can I use cookie cutters to make cupcakes?
No.
Why?
Because you can't bake those in the oven.
No, I'm not gonna bake them. I'm gonna bake like a cake, and then but I'm gonna use it with cupcake stuff, and then I'm gonna cookie cut it with cookie cutters.
Nah, it's not gonna work.
Yes,
I guarantee you. Little plastic cookie cutters like this, that's not gonna work.
No,
I know what you have in mind. You're gonna have to find the cupcake holder. There's 3 different cabinets you can look in out there. Okay, you're out of luck for cupcakes then. And so really, Barry, what this is telling you is that all the progress that you've made, the cautions you've put in, the things that you've done building to be the king of your personal empire, if you will, your personal atmosphere. And this has been leading you toward being successful. Because believe it or not, I have this belief that it's like the Monty Python song says, always look on the bright side of life. Life's a piece of shit when you think of it. I agree with that statement. Life can be awfully shitty, and life can be something that degrades if left to itself. If we don't do the things necessary to make life work, life is going to fall to pieces. It's decay. It's what's the word? Entropy. Life falls apart if left to itself. But what this is saying is you're the king. You're the guy who has incorporated all the good stuff along the way to try to make your goals and make your life work the way you want it to. It's the idealism that you've shown. That's what's made you confident and reliable. But it might do better to begin focusing on your financial security, is what this card indicates, at least for a short time. Take a period now and focus on where your finances are going, where they're coming from, how you're going to prepare for the future. So it's okay to consult a professional. It's okay to talk to an elder, somebody who can help you protect your efforts. And you have intrinsic ability, this card says, in the fields of making your life profitable, your material circumstances to work positively for you. You're a self-sufficient individual, is what this, you're the king, is what this is saying. So it's signs of success and wealth, endless personal growth. The money you earn through your own efforts is going to bring rewards beyond material gain. The things we do on our own, like I look at my wife, who was talking about Rainey this morning. This could apply to her. She's doing her own thing. She is doing massage therapy on her own, and she's doing a very good job of it. And she needs to keep this up. That's for her to build her material security. So I use her as an example. Yeah, a woman can be a king in the tarot sense. You can have those abilities. A man can be the queen if those abilities relate to you. This is a card that says that you got that quality of that king. To attain your goals, it's going to require self-exploration, firm commitment on your part to what you know to be right and good and common sense, but the outcome looks really positive. It's a positive card. It's a card that's telling you, yeah, Barry, you've got what it takes to make this stuff happen. And hopefully you're seeing that happen in your current right now. And if not, it's telling you this is who you need to be in the right now to make that work better for you. You've got to be the king. It's good to be king. And so this is saying exhibit the attributes of the king who's got it together. He knows where he's going, what he's doing. So there you go. And Barry, I hope that means something to your situation. So there you are. Oh, Darth Nagayan. Always look on the bright side of life. I can't whistle. Never been able to whistle. So I got weird shaped lips or something. And that's when I smile. I was noticing that this morning after I brushed my teeth, that I can't smile and show off my top teeth unless I do the duck thing. So, yeah, I got a weird shaped mouth or something. Matt Finn says, good, except when your subjects demand $5. Yeah. All right. Who's up? Susie Q is up. Let's read Susie Q. Here we go, Susie Q. You ready? Let's roll it out. This one's for Susie Q. One more time for Susie Q. Susie Q, where are you? We've got some work to do now. I'm going to split this deck for you, cut the deck for you. Let's put her all back together. Boom. Let's see what we got. You ready? All right. Well, we're getting all these kind of royal, big, positive cards today. Must be some positive energy in the air. Susie Q, you're the Emperor today. The Emperor is somebody who can embody male characters, also female characters. So it can apply to you. The Emperor is somebody who is going to be the person who is in charge. The person where the buck stops. The person who moves things forward. The person who has to make the decisions for the betterment of his entire empire, not just for himself. The Emperor is a powerful influence. Generally male in nature. So it's got that male nature behind it. It doesn't mean you have to be a man to be this emperor. It can include concepts in your life that historically are considered to be masculine, such as leadership, authority, self-discipline, stability through power and action. So things you bring to the table are what bring the power and the authority. It's positive influences that suggest that you might be on a path to advancement or promotion, but it can also be neutral. Seriously? Where did that come from?
It's my old cake.
Okay, well, you came in while I was talking to somebody here.
That's your piece of cake.
Here you go, guys. Cupcakes. All right, I'm giving that back to you. Here, take the rest of it with you. Come over here, and when you see me talking online, I'm doing a reading for somebody. Don't interrupt, okay? And you need to come back and get that. All right? All right. Sorry, Susie Q. So whatever the impetus is for change in your life, you're somebody that may have to shoulder the burden of making changes for the good of your personal empire, the place where you rule, the place where you are really in charge, and where you have to show your strengths. And authority is always, according to this card, authority has always played a great role in sharpening your life, who you are, what you do. Your good position may be due to a government or a powerful person, and the resolution of a recent conflict is approaching. It's all those kinds of things that are incorporated into the Emperor card. It doesn't matter if you were, when saying government, if you were appointed this, if you were elected to this, if you chose this, this is who you are. If it's by birth, this is who you are. So there might be a moment where someone in a position of authority offers you help. That could be the Emperor as well. In any form, the more experienced hand that has come to help you might be more capable than yours, is the idea. So sometimes this Emperor is somebody that's there in your sphere of influence to help you do what you're supposed to do, to help you get to where you're supposed to get. This is about protecting your loved ones. That's important, but people in leadership positions have to know how to compromise. So you have to beware the overly dependent. You have to beware being overly dependent. You have to be the one that rises above situations and makes the decisions and the choices that guides where you need to be and those around you need to be. The Emperor doesn't let people run over him. The Emperor is the one who makes the decisions. He's the one who says, like Solomon said in the Old Testament, in one of his Proverbs, he says, how did he put it? Good leaders, I'm gonna paraphrase it. Good leaders have a multitude of counselors and advisors, but at the end of the day, he makes them all leave the room, and the decision is his to make. So this is who the Emperor is. So you have to take the initiative, Susie Q. You have to take the initiative that's going to bring you and those that are your loved ones closer to your goal, but only if you can bear the responsibility of all your actions. You have to take account of your actions and what it takes to get there. You're going to be given the opportunity to lead in one of life's many roles, but remember those who follow behind you. So the Emperor, as the counterpart to the Empress card, stands for all the things fatherly. It's got that fatherly smack around it. He's structure, he's order, he's authority in your life. And so while moving forward in your endeavors, this card indicates that assertiveness, that rationality it's going to take you a long way. So that's what this card means for you. It's not necessarily somebody else. It's you becoming that emperor and using those attributes to make your decisions, to move yourself further along. So there you go. That's who it is. The decisions are yours to make, but you have to make them with assertiveness, not with a maybe. The emperor that makes a decision with I don't know if this is the direction I should go. Where do you think his empire is going to end up? And the people that he cares for are going to end up. The emperor is the one that says, this is what it is. This is what we need to do. And I'm convinced of it. And you work at not convincing yourself, you work at knowing and having the ability to know and having the ability to assert what you know to be good and right. This is it. Emperors don't care who they offend. They're not out to offend, but they don't care if they offend you. Let's say you've got 10 counselors on your administration that are telling you these are the different things that you should be doing. You're going to offend somebody by not picking his way, or you're going to find a way to culminate those. You can't always compromise on everything either. Sometimes there has to be a black and white. Thank you for your input, but I'm rejecting that. I'm moving in this direction because I know it's the right thing to do. And so there you go, Susie Q. That's you. Move forward and step into your goodness. There it is. All right. So I hope that was helpful. And so what time we got? It's 10:12. Really only been going for about an hour. So we can do a couple of more readings. Death is no easy thing. No, it isn't. I don't know who you're talking to there, Corin, but I saw that just pop up. So I'm looking to see Steve Morgan sending you strength, peace, and love. Yeah, for Morgan's situation. Yeah. They were giving him the wrong meds. So, Morgan, not to be insensitive or to ask too probing a question in public, but is your husband dying, or is he in the potential position of dying if he's not taken care of well? Is this recoverable? Terminal? Is that the position you're in with him? Just for understanding, not to probe inappropriately. But, yeah, Field Guy says, I'm always sober. Just imagine if I was drunk. Yeah, we've all got those moments, don't we? So, there we go. Field is next, huh? Field Guy, you're up next. Let's do it. Let's do it, brother. Let's read for Field Guy. You know why I like doing the one-card readings? I don't have to think so hard. The message is right there. Boom. There it is. One card. I can do 3 cards and 5 cards and all of that, but they can get pretty intense because you're trying to look and see how the cards are all relating together. So I like the single card read. It gives you an oversight, an overview of what's going on. All right, Field Guy. Got you shuffled up here. Let us cut the deck on your behalf. All right. Boom, boomity boom, dee boom. Restacking this deck. Oh, there you go. All right, Field Guy. Here you go. You ready? Here's your card. Ha, the Devil. You, Field Guy, have the Devil card. Is that appropriate, do you think? There is a meaning to the Devil card, by the way, that might defy what it looks like it means on its surface. And the Devil card is really a card that's... The devil is in the business of entrapment. So this can signify a situation from which there's really no escape or a road leading to one. It's a forewarning that may let you avoid the trap, or it may not. So what sort of trap is what you got to ask yourself, and how much you avoid the trap. And it depends on where the devil appears in your circumstances. At what time this card comes up for you. Now, the devil card, I always used to say of this card that it's not a card that foretells doom. It's only a card that advises you to be prudent. At the same time, the devil card is a card that says, identify your demons and your devils in your life. Identify them, look them in the eye, and tell them to be gone. It's the idea of identifying your devils. There's a verse in the Bible that talks about resist the devil and he will flee. So this is that kind of thought. And so when I'm saying we've all got devils, we've all got demons, we've all got skeletons in our closet. We've all got stuff we have to deal with. Many of us have things that we hope to God nobody ever knows about us, because they're the demons we struggle with. For some, it might be overt. Let's just as an overt example, drink, alcoholism. Let's say somebody is a known alcoholic. What's their demon? Their demon might be addiction. Their demon might be overcoming that particular addiction. Now, I'm just saying this by way of example, field guy. I'm not saying you're an addict. I don't know you and that aspect of you very well. What this does tell me, though, is that like an addict, you've got your demons that need overcoming, and that they will flee from you if you face them head on. If you ignore your demons or your devils, if you know about them but don't do anything about them, if you're afraid to confront them or you don't want to confront them, they're going to take control. They're the things that will govern your life. Now, some people will say, well, that's metaphoric talk. What if it isn't? What if there is a spirituality here that says there are certain demons that plague us all, and we fight them? We've seen that used by psychology and anywhere else to say, oh, that guy's got his demons he struggles with. And they don't mean it literally. And it might not be literal. It might be just internal strife that you have over something. But have you ever thought that there might be actual, literal forces of evil, forces of darkness that work in your life that you need to overcome? At the same time, it might not have anything to do with that for you. It might not be a spiritual issue at all. It may be an issue of you overcoming certain things. You put this in for 30 for me, please, and bring it back?
Yeah, just a second.
Thank you. My coffee's cold. So this is something where it's saying you need to take charge of the things that so easily beset you. In the New Testament, for as much as I have my issues with them, the Apostle Paul wrote some good things. And he said, I will not be brought under by the power of any. He says, I keep under, I push down my body, my intents, my natural things, so that I may conquer over the things that so easily knock me off course. That could be what this is all about. In the past, this card, the past for you, one of the choices you've made was absolutely wrong for you, is what this card tells me. Negative forces are slowing your future development. You've made at least one bad decision. I'm not talking about little decision. I should have, not stayed home that day and I should have gone out and done this thing. Not talking about that. This is a choice that you've made in your general direction, which was absolutely wrong for you. That's what this card tells me. And that all the negative forces are working against you now. It's like you've opened the door to that. And there's an event beyond your influence It's going to change your life. Now, it's uncertain whether it's good or bad, but avoid extravagant behavior. Be true to who you really are, who you know you need to be. And the time is coming for you to find some beauty within yourself by driving the darkness out. The demon, the thing, the devil that besets you, that sets you apart, keeps you from advancing. Drive it out. You're going to find that beauty in yourself, field guy. And stop the projections that you're casting on the world, is what this card says. Don't project what's really going on internally for you onto the world. But, and this is a general message of this card. That's the way I'm trying to say this. Thank you very much, Ro. I got my warm coffee now. The course of your life is beyond your knowing. But this awareness that you need to find courage to change your own life, to stop casting projections on the rest of the world, saying, that's why I can't get to where I need to be, to look your devils in the eye and say, out, I'm done. Resist the devil and it will flee from you. And knowing the course of what's going to happen in your life, nobody knows. You don't know it. But this awareness will defeat your self-delusions. This is a card that says, when it says, resist your devils and they'll flee. This is a card that says, look them in the eye, your demons, or demon, whichever it is. And when you do that, when you have this self-awareness that you're the one that needs to push it out and move beyond, it's going to defeat your own self-delusions about things. Maybe getting ahead in whatever category of life you feel you need to get ahead is held up because you believe this, you're being held back by something or something. This is saying nonsense. Resist the devil that's in you and it'll flee. And so the devil is about things negative. Anger, violence, temptation, fear, doubt. And these are just some of the terrors that are associated with this card. And this suggests that you might be feeling entrapped, perhaps in an unhealthy relationship of some sort. And that doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship or a partnership. It could mean a relationship with your job, your boss, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your brother, your friend, your whoever. There's some kind of unhealthy thing that's holding you in that. It's an addiction, as I said at the beginning, which I only used it as an example. Or it's a lie. And whatever is going on, this is a card that's kind of giving you a no more. No more of that. Move on from that. You're the one who has to make the change. You're the one that has to put it to bed. Corin is saying here, if I've got you in context here, Corin, you saw a comment of yours, how to do that. Are you asking, how do we do that? Corin said earlier on, I find that many social and family things we lack in life, we fill with addictions. Ain't that the truth? I've said before, we all have this, if you put it in a spiritual sense, I used to use this as an example when I was in ministry. We all have a God-shaped vacuum in our hearts that we try to fill with other things. And it's only until we allow God to fill that or be the sufficiency for that, that we make it. But we cram it full of stuff and then it doesn't fit and we empty it out and try something else. So be careful of those things, field guy. The things that you try to cram in the place of what should be there. So look your devils in the eye and take power over them instead of them having power over you. That's all this says. There you go. I hope that's helpful. Hope it means something to you. All right. Devil card's a poignant card. It's hard to get around that one. I've had that one for myself. The things that we allow to dictate to us. So there you go. All right, Darth, step up to the plate. Let's read for Darth. Well, there you go, Matt. If he's winning contests, that's one aspect that's working for you. Find the cockroaches in your life and eradicate them. As you can tell, it's easy to kill one. It's not easy to kill the village. All right, Darth. Let's see what we got going on for you. All right, Darth, if you were here, I'd have you cut the deck with your hand. Instead, I'm going to do it for you. Let's see what we got. All right, Darth. I got for your card, you ready for it? Death. We've had the devil and death today. Two of the most misunderstood cards in the deck. So, cut the deck, not the cheese. Amen, Durwood. And so, death. Let's explain this one a little bit. Death, by the way, I will say right away, when you get the death card in Tarot, it does not stand for literal death. Okay? So let that one soak in for a second. The death card is not about literal death. You're not dying. Nobody's dying around you, at least not in relation to this card. This card, the death card, is all about the end of something which ushers in the new. All right? That makes sense? The end of something that ushers in the new. Death is indicative of change in your future. That's what this card stands for. Change is coming. Dramatic change. Change that you cannot alter. When death comes knocking, you can't go, oh, wait a minute. Maybe in the stories you can. Maybe there are things we can do to put off death. But when death comes and it's there, it's final. So this is indicative of change in your future. Something that is going to have to change. Something that will change whether you want it to change or not. And it can be in almost any aspect of your life, but it's certainly going to be permanent. It's going to be significant. It's going to be absolute. Death suggests a complete severance between the past and the future. And it's likely not going to be an easy ride. It's going to be something that you're going to feel the sting of it. It might even be painful. And so despite the sense of loss that may accompany death and the pain of going through whatever you've got to go through, death fills an important and natural role in our lives. And it leads eventually to acceptance, to you finding the changes easiest if you embrace them rather than fight them. So expect the end of this card can stand for the end of a close relationship, a friendship, a job, a marriage. Might have to do with the end of a life. But don't focus too greatly on the negative with this card, is the idea. You've moved into a new phase. This card is telling you you're moving into a new phase. The death card signifies a doorway. What is death? Literal death is a doorway to something else. Some people, atheists, whoever, might tell you there's nothing else beyond this life. I would disagree with that, not because I have proof of it, but neither does the person who doesn't believe that have proof that there's nothing beyond this. So the idea is it's a doorway from one aspect of existence in the great universal sense to another. And so this is the same thing with life. It's a phase of life. You're going through a doorway. All things change with time. Your path through the world is no different. Everything changes. I've been through several of those death moments in my life. There are things that come upon you, and all of a sudden, if you are not aware that they're coming, and they hit you, they change your life forever. And it's horrendous to go through, but it changes something, and it leaves you open to build something absolutely new. It's a totally new life. A major event is approaching you in your present. If it hasn't hit you already and you don't recognize this yet, this is where you are. So you may already be aware of this. Something's approaching. It's going to arrive. It's going to hit you suddenly, and you're going to lose something that's very valuable to you. It might not be a person that you lose. It could be a thing. It could be a situation. I'm trying to say that death it's not always a loss of something that's so immediately identifiable because it's physical and tangible. It might be something that is intangible. You'll realize when it's gone, but you go, it would be like, to use a loose example, freedom. So you have freedom one day and you're imprisoned the next by a captor of some kind. You've lost that freedom. That is a huge change in life. Obviously, I'm just using it as an example. So to move forward, you have to develop a new perspective on the world around you, on your world and your role in it. The past is already behind you, and the rest of your life is still ahead of you. So you have to continue the journey with all your heart, no matter what this card stands for. The death card is dramatic change in order to have a new beginning. You can have this beautiful, great new beginning, but dude, you got to die first, is the idea of the card. And this new situation can't come without the death of the old. So it's often associated with loss, failure, destruction. It's a dark tone to this card. And so this is a card that's telling you, Darth, that something's coming to an end, but it's prepping the way for something better to come. Some place where you need to go and where you need to be. So there you go. Not the prettiest of messages, but I hope it makes sense to you and means something. And we all have those moments, folks. We all have those death moments. And they come. It's the end of the chapter and the beginning of another, says Barry Chad. Absolutely. 100%. That's what that's about. Okay, folks. I think I'm going to wrap it this morning for readings. I'm going to be done with readings today. And we'll hit some more next week. Keep in mind that if you want a reading, I've had a couple of people ask me recently, if you want a reading, come on over to my page, scottallenroberts.com. Click on the tarot link. And there's a couple of PayPal buttons there for a 5-card and a 10-card reading. Maybe I can do a special. How about this? They're free on the show. But if you want to do some single card readings, go over to my paypal.me/ I think it's Scotty Roberts 1960. It's over on the header of my YouTube page. You drop $10 into my PayPal. Let me know you're there. Well, I'll see it. And just mark that it's for a 1-card. We'll do 1-card readings over the next 24 hours. So if you want a 1-card reading and you want to drop $10 in there, go ahead and do that. And I'll make the time to do some more readings off the show. So there you go, folks. For readings, thanks for coming by today for that. There it is. Thank you, Matt Finn. PayPal.com/PayPalMe/ I can't even read it all. So it's there. You just click on that link. Oh, there, Audrey put it up. PayPal.me/Scotty Roberts 1960, year of my birth. So there you go. If you want to get a reading over the next, let's go 24 to 48 hours. Let's do them through the end of the day, Tuesday. If you would like to get a single card reading, drop me $10 and we'll find some time and call you up on Messenger or Skype or by phone, and we'll do it. So thank you, Morgan. I enjoyed having you here. Steve Clark, thanks for being here. Good to see you, brother. And all of you, have a good day. It's Sunday. It's kind of cloudy and it might rain here today. It's very humid today, but cooler than yesterday. So I hope you all have a good day with your families. And we've got Rainey out on this end today. She's out doing a couple of massages today, which she normally doesn't do on the weekends, on Sundays anyway. And so she's feeling very confident these days because she's getting more work. So that's good for her. And Teresa, love you too. Love you all. Mary Bell, good to see you. You have a great Sunday. And if anybody I didn't get to say hi to today, hello. And it was a much more interrupted show than normal. I think my small daughter likes to get into the picture a little bit. Rowan, once she knows I've responded to her, she'll just keep going. So I had to shut her out at some point. So, yeah, have a good birthday, Barry. And all of you, have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow night, all week, 9 p.m. Central Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. West Coast for the Intrepid radio program. And we'll see you there. So thanks for being here. Have a fun day. So I'm going to end the stream now. Bye.